A man and a woman are surviving on a deserted island. They make fish traps, set up stone traps, hunt crabs, and win a $100,000 prize. Would you want to join such a survival challenge? This episode's challenge takes place on an island off the coast of Mexico. Gwen, a retired police officer, chose to participate after an injury left her arm numb, leading to her early retirement with a substantial pension. John, a survival enthusiast, is here to test his limits and maybe win that $100,000 prize. The island is like a desert, with scorching heat and dry conditions, while the base of the mountains is filled with humid and stifling mangroves. Surviving here is not as easy as it seems. After arriving, they have to walk through the mangrove area to meet each other. When the two Americans finally meet, they exchange compliments. They brought a machete, paracord, and a fire starter, but no pot. They need to hike 5 kilometers to their challenge destination, crossing a hill to reach the opposite coast, all under the midday sun. They not only have to endure the heat but also be wary of the poisonous animals here. John is very worried that Gwen might not make it. John spots a wasp nest and the area is swarming with wasps. Getting stung could be disastrous. Walking under the sun feels like their bodies are on fire. Gwen feels like her body is being drained of water, indicating dehydration. Overheating can easily lead to heat stroke. The island looks small, but they have to climb one hill after another, and the paths are incredibly difficult, filled with thorns. By 3 p.m., they finally reach the top, where a slight breeze cools them down. But knowing they still have half the journey left, John feels frustrated. By 6 p.m., they still haven't descended the hill. Gwen suggests camping for the night. Wasn't it supposed to be just 5 kilometers? How come they haven't reached it after a whole day? They build a shelter with wood nearby. They sleep leaning against the wood, and soon it's the next day. They slept leaning against the wood last night. Early in the morning, they start moving again. They haven't had any water since yesterday and desperately need to hydrate. They walk very slowly, feeling like each step is killing them. Gwen's body starts to cramp, indicating a need for electrolytes. Electrolytes send signals to muscles to contract. The midday temperature is extremely high. Although they can see the beach below, it's still quite far, and they fear slipping and falling. They find a rock cave with water flowing out, but the small water puddle disappoints them. The water isn't flowing and is undrinkable. John uses a leaf to find some flowing water in the rock crevices, giving Gwen a drink. The water is clean and sweet, finally quenching their thirst. After resting, they reach the beach, where the shade is perfect for building a fireplace. The shelter is shaded from the sun, making it a great natural cooling spot. Building the shelter is simple, just laying leaves on the ground. Night falls, and the area is filled with sandflies and bugs, making it impossible to sleep. They try to light a fire to repel the bugs but fail, spending the night being bitten. The next morning, John collects a lot of wood for the night, and Gwen also gathers firewood, fearing another night without fire. He hopes to start a fire today. John places palm leaves on the shelter's roof to block wind and rain. While collecting palm leaves, he finds a beehive and knocks it down, showing his fearlessness. Despite hiding in the sea, he gets stung all over, with his head swelling up. John feels dizzy, making Gwen laugh. On the 4th day, they still haven't successfully started a fire. The sand is scorching during the day, making it impossible to walk out. They finally manage to start a fire. On the 5th day, they sleep better with the fire. After 5 days without food, they start feeling hungry. Gwen plans to catch some crabs. The beach is full of small crabs, but they move quickly, making them hard to catch. Two smart people running around the beach can't catch a single crab. Are they really smarter than the crabs? After hours of effort, they finally catch a small crab, making Gwen very happy. She gives the crab to John, knowing that eating well will give them energy. Gwen roasts the crab on charcoal, with its juices dripping out. Not using it to make crab soup feels like a waste. Even a small crab is a feast for them, as it's the most sumptuous meal they've had since arriving. Night falls, and a large spider appears in the shelter, falling on Gwen and biting her. On the 6th day, Gwen's neck is sore from the spider bite, but she's otherwise fine. If she sees the spider again, she'll roast it. They spend the day chatting in the shelter, and soon it's the 9th day. They spend their days in the shelter doing nothing. John decides to make a crab trap, and they each make one. Different types of traps increase their chances of success, not because they lack skills. They're just too lazy. They place the woven traps on the rocks, hoping to catch some crabs. On the 10th day, they check the traps but find nothing. They desperately need protein but catch nothing, leaving them hungry. On the 11th day, Gwen prepares a hunting trap, and John searches for large stones on the mountain. Moving the stones is exhausting, but they need protein, so he has no choice. Using wild fruits as bait, the trap will crush the prey with stones when they eat the fruit. This primitive hunting device is quite effective, depending on the prey's interest in the fruit. At night, prey approaches the trap, but Gwen twists her ankle while checking it. What bad luck! On the 12th day, Gwen's foot injury means she has to rest, leaving John to do everything. Finally, she has an excuse to lie down until the end. She takes on the important task of tending the fire. John has to check the trap alone. From a distance, the trap hasn't been triggered, but much of the fruit is gone. John returns to the shelter to find the firewood gone, needing to collect more. Gathering wood is a physically demanding task, and John spends almost the entire day doing it. To conserve wood, they burn less during the day, and soon it's the 15th day. John spends all his energy collecting wood, and Gwen realizes his hard work. She acknowledges John as a great teammate for not resenting her for lying down. Watching John work so hard, we don't need to pity him. On the 18th day, Gwen's foot is much better but still painful. He doesn't want to work yet, making John feel like dying. He's exhausted every day, and though they have no food, he still has to share the prize with Gwen. On the 20th day, tomorrow is the extraction day. Gwen sees the spider that bit her in the shelter and decides to take revenge. She grabs a stick and fights the spider, which caused her so much pain. The spider's fangs are terrifying, but Gwen roasts it on the fire. Tarantula protein is equivalent to a slice of bacon. Though it looks gross, it tastes good. After eating and drinking, Gwen prepares to make sandals for tomorrow's extraction. On the 21st day, it's extraction day. They need to reach another beach for rescue. The sea has sharks, making the short distance dangerous. Thirsty while traveling, they find water to drink, making it more comfortable than when they arrived. Finally, they reach the extraction point, surviving by enduring hunger. Though they win the $100,000 prize, it doesn't showcase high survival skills. Who will join the next challenge? Stay tuned for the next episode.